5 seconds to go. Start. Each budget must respond to the contemporary challenges and be sensitive to the mood of the times. In this sense, this year is somewhat unique. The raging pandemic imposed a typical expenditure burdens. Uncertainties on the path of the pandemic loom large. This circumscribes policy prognosis. The elections in five important states, including Uttar Pradesh, loom large. Its outcome would determine the political course for policymakers vis a vis far reaching economic and structural reforms. Domain experts have concluded that monetary policy has run out of steam. The efficacy of any policy of forbearance and extending guarantees or moratoriums is no substitute for fiscal action. Fiscal stimulus is stressed for job creation and relief to the MSME sector and the informal sector. In this context, this budget is a commendable balancing act. It is seeking symmetry between contradictory pulls and pressures. It represents continuity with trust. To begin with, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman was truthful that this was no time for tax reprieves. The fact that she has not resorted to tax increases normally expected during a pandemic through enhanced health cess or a pandemic tax is no mean achievement. Continuity in tax policies is central, and obviating unpleasant surprises reinforces investor confidence. Second, the continued emphasis on capital expenditure, which decisively alters outcomes of public outlays, is a long awaited expenditure reform. Capex has gone up by 26% from rupees 4.39 trillion in FY21 to rupees 5.54 trillion in FY22. Job creation will be the direct outcome of enhanced capex and altering of employment patterns in seeking more gainful employment and asset creation, such as through the National Highways Development Program under the National Infrastructure, giving an impetus to Gati Shakti. Third, this focus on productive capex comes ahead of elections in five states. The government could have been distracted by more direct monetary support to influence the electoral psyche. The decision to stay away from a populist budget is consistent with the PM's objective to enhance our long term competitive efficiency, supporting growth objectives, and a new export thrust. A fiscal consolidation of half percentage point for the following year is significant. This is consistent with the objectives of a 4.5% fiscal deficit at the end of 2024-25. No doubt this is somewhat higher than the stipulated 3% in the FRBM Act and a little misaligned with the 4% suggested by the Finance Commission. However, this exercise commenced last year and continued this year in taking on all extra budgetary borrowings, contingent liabilities, and extra budgetary resources reinforces the credibility of our accounting process. One of the outstanding achievements is the somewhat unexpected revenue buoyancy. painful but sustained efforts in improving GST outcomes as well as on direct taxes will result in tax to GDP of around 10.7% over the next year. This is a significant gain considering that tax to GDP has for long languished far below its potential. The GST Council must now engage in a more decisive action in broad banding inverted duty structure and including excluded items as well as improving all round compliance. We are, by international reckoning, losing about 4 percentage points of GDP in our overall revenue realization. A coherent plan on sustaining our current revenue buoyancy would be keenly watched. Stop.